Hi, I'm Nick Chen, one of the teaching assistants for Rob Rutenbauer's VLSI CAD Logic to Layout course. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Router Visualization tool for Programming Assignment 4. You can find the Router Visualization tool by navigating to the class homepage, scrolling down to Web-based Tools, scrolling down to this section, and clicking on this link. Now, before I demonstrate how the tool actually works, I'd like to spend a couple of moments just talking about the benchmark file format and the router results file format. Here we have the benchmark file format for the very simple example from the accompanying write-up for Programming Assignment 4. The exact format of this file is described in detail in the write-up, and what I'd like to do is just point out some of the interesting features for the visualization. The visualization makes use of the first two numbers to determine the number of cells to display. The first number 6 here denotes the number of cells in the x direction. The second number 5 here denotes the number of cells in the y direction. Because we have a two-layer router, the first 5 lines here actually describe cells on the first layer, and the second 5 lines here describe cells on the second layer. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the file format for the router placement. Again, this is a very simple text file. The first number denotes the number of nets that we're trying to route. So in this case, we're trying to route 3 nets. The first net is described in this section, the second one in this section, and the third one in this particular section here. For the first section, we put a number, numbering the net, and the path that it's actually taking. Then we terminate with a 0. We follow that with the path for the second net. In this case, it's taking this particular route. Okay, so again, there's a lot of detail in the accompanying write-up on how to interpret and write this file format. Now let's take a look at how we can visualize this, because as you can imagine, it's really hard to see what's going on without some form of visualization. So now let's try to visualize what the example grid file looks like. We're going to drag and drop the example grid onto this particular drop zone here for the benchmark file. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a bit so that it's easier to see what's going on in this particular video tutorial. As you can see, there are a couple of colored cells. Blue cells represent blockages on the first layer. Orange cells represent blockages on the second layer. And though you may not be able to see this because it's really faint, there are a couple of gray cells here as well. Gray cells denote non-unit cost cells on different layers. Because it may be hard to actually visualize things on different layers, they're all stacked up together. We actually have a feature here where you right click and you're able to toggle the different obstacles. So for instance, you can go into obstacles and toggle layer 1 obstacles and you actually hide it. And you can also choose to toggle layer 2 obstacles and hide that as well. And of course, you can toggle it back on. So this is just a very useful feature in case you're trying to see what the routes look like and you don't actually have a clear way to see it because of the blockages that are sort of layered on top of one another. Okay. So now let's take a look at what the router results look like. Now I'm going to take the results file and drag and drop it onto this particular drop zone here. As you can see, we get some visualization of the different routes. As usual, a blue route specifies a route that's on layer 1. An orange path here specifies a route that's on layer 2. The green cell here specifies that this is the starting position of that particular path, and the red cell here specifies that it's the stopping position. If you hover your mouse over the path, it's going to show you that this is the path for net 1. And this will be really useful when you actually have a lot more paths and you're trying to visualize or trying to determine which path corresponds to which net. Alright, so that's a very simple visualization. One other thing that you may have noticed is this cross in the middle. This cross basically denotes a via point where you have a via going up or down from layer 1 to layer 2 or from layer 2 to layer 1. And we just denote this with this cross symbol right here. So to just give you a feel for what the tool is capable of, I'm just going to drag and drop a couple of other grid files just to give you an example. This is the grid file for benchmark 1. This is what it looks like. This is the one for benchmark 2. This is what it looks like. It's kind of big, so you have to scroll to the right to actually see the whole thing. Here's one for benchmark 3. Here's one for benchmark 4. And there you have it, a very short video tutorial on how to use the router visualization tool that we have for you for programming assignment 4. Please let us know if you have any comments or feedback through the discussion forums, and we hope that you find this tool useful as you do programming assignment 4. Thank you.